Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, Abdullah was a peculiar child, for he was born with a natural inclination towards piety and righteousness. From a tender age, he showed signs of exceptional faith and devotion to Allah. As a toddler, Abdullah would often be found playing with rocks and sand, but instead of building castles or making mud pies, he would create small masjids, mosques, and perform his own version of Salah prayer. His parents, though amused by his antics, recognized the sincerity in his actions and encouraged his spiritual growth. As he grew older, Abdullah's love for Allah only deepened. He would spend hours listening to the Quran, mesmerized by the beauty of the words and the stories of the prophets. He would often be found in the village masjid, sitting in the front row, eyes fixed on the imam, drinking in every word of the sermon. Abdullah's parents, though poor, made sure to provide him with the best Islamic education possible. They hired a private tutor who taught him the Quran, Hadith, and the ways of the prophets. Abdullah proved to be a quick learner, memorizing entire surahs chapters of the Quran and implementing the teachings in his daily life. As he entered his preteen years, Abdullah's piety became even more pronounced. He would wake up before dawn, perform his tahajjud nightly prayer, and then spend hours in contemplation and reflection. He would often be found in the village cemetery, praying for the deceased and seeking forgiveness for his own sins. The villagers, who had grown fond of Abdullah, began to notice a change in their own lives. They would find themselves performing extra prayers, giving more charity, and being kinder to one another. Abdullah's presence seemed to have a profound impact on those around him, inspiring them to become better Muslims. One day, a severe drought hit the village, and the crops began to wither away. The villagers, desperate for relief, turned to Abdullah, hoping that his piety would bring them blessings. Abdullah, determined to help his community, spent hours in prayer, begging Allah for mercy. Days turned into weeks, and the drought showed no signs of relenting. But Abdullah did not give up. He continued to pray, fast, and perform extra acts of charity. And then, one morning, the skies darkened, and a gentle rain began to fall. The crops began to grow again, and the villagers rejoiced. Scholars and saints came to visit him, seeking his counsel and his company. But Abdullah remained rooted in his village, content with his simple life, his Quran, and his prayers. One day, as Abdullah lay on his deathbed, surrounded by his loved ones, he smiled and said, "I have lived a life of joy, a life of purpose. I have served Allah with all my heart, and He has blessed me with everything I could ever want." And his eyes was closed and returned to his God in peace.